Welcome to Wales. Just inspiring to be able to get out and enjoy that. And then the Pyrenees was the same way. And then getting up into England, I'm like, well, it's going to be wet, it's going to be nasty, it's going to be a little bit of rolling hills, nothing overly impressive that much, because I've been here before, and it was neat, but it wasn't something that was going to really, trip my trigger. And yesterday, riding up through the hills and seeing the dams and the reservoirs, I found a road that goes into a nature reserve, and it was a rider's paradise. And for motorcyclists, I think this is still one of the greatest places to ride so far, because traffic's very laid back for a country that's very heavily populated. When you go to London and you can't move anywhere. I went like 13 miles and it took me 2 hours to get through London. 13 miles. Here, yeah, there's traffic and you see it, but it moves at a good rate. And it's not at a rate like when you're in Switzerland, or especially Italy, is when if you're not moving at full throttle, they're going to run you over. It's good moving pace, comfortable, and you can ride your own pace. If somebody comes up behind you and you're not pushing hard, they're not going to push you. They're going to sit back and let you finish your route, until it's a nice, easy way to pass, and then they'll pass. But if they're not really easy place to pass, they won't try. They won't force you. They'll let you ride. It's nice. So it's a good day. It's just nice curves, easy grade. I'm riding an adventure bike, not a sport bike, and I'm having a great time. And I'm thinking if I had a sport bike, I'd have just as much fun doing that, because you can step it up to whatever level you want to do. And the surfaces are solid. You get the rush of just zipping back and forth and pulling corners is great. Or if you want to sit back and just kind of ease through it, cruise and take in the sights, you can do it. I kind of joked around a little bit, before I left with a couple people that I know, and said, yeah, it's like, I wonder if I get a tax write-off if I claim this as a business trip. Maybe it'll be Steve's European Motorcycle Adventures. And I'm getting to the point where I may even try to float that idea. If people want to go for motorcycle trips and that, check out finding some good routes, finding some good people in that, and come over and do some rides in that. So, and I'm not going to take all the best ones in that, because some of them are, I hate to say, is some of the locals have some that are theirs, and it's nice to share with some people, but it's also nice if you don't overcrowd it. But there's so many great roads out here that it's, I think it'd be a fun little trip to do. And that. And it's, looking at renting bikes isn't a bad deal, so you didn't have to ship your bike over. That way you could pick whatever bike you want. Or if you wanted to bring your own bike and say, hey, I rode my bike overseas. So it's all doable, and it's feasible, and it's talking with, riders. I met a group of guys yesterday. There was like, I think 5 of them. They were from Scotland. They were down here, and they're like, oh, you're coming up to Scotland, you got to ride this road, you got to go this area. You just, and it was neat talking with them. And one of the gentlemen had worked the Isle of Man races, so he's like, if you're at Isle of Man, you got to go here. You got to, this is a place to eat. This is a place to spend the afternoon, have tea at. This is a place to go ride. And it was just kind of cool. It's like, and I showed him, we were talking and that, and told him about it, and he went on and he looked at one of my pictures and that, and he saw the one with my Rudy's drive-in tokens. Rudy's driving gave me, Rudy gave me a couple of tokens take long, and it's kind of cool to get pictures of them around the world. And I've been actually dropping them off at several different areas to kind of make like a scavenger hunt and that. So if you find that token and you bring it back to the States and that, you get a free root beer float, which normally a token does. But it's kind of neat, just drop one in different areas. And he was saying, when you go to the Isle of Man, you got to go to Kingstown or Castletown. And there's like a tree that all the riders and people come there. They put little mementos and ribbons and stuff on it for good luck in that. And you got to put one there. So it's like, I'm going to drop one there. Well, it was neat talking to that. And then there, like also up in going for the ride up through Scotland, you got to do this. And I told them, well, there's the Route 500 is supposed to be just beautiful. And they're like, yep, that's in the very northern tip and that. And he goes, if you get a chance to do some island hopping. And then the next thing they look, they're like, you have bug spray, right? And evidently there's a special kind of bug spray I got to get because they have these, I'm thinking they're gnats, is what the guys are talking about, are little black bugs and that, and little gnats and stuff. They're just annoying in that, so, or, giant, it's not really a mosquito, but it's, like chiggers, I guess we call them. We have that can be annoying in that, but he goes, if the wind's blowing, it's all right, but if the wind ain't blowing, they eat you alive. So you got to get this kind of bug spray in that. So I wrote down, make sure I'm going to get some of that. I already got some bug spray, but I'll make sure I have the type they want or recommend. So if I go up there, and they're like, oh, you got camping gear, you're going to want to camp in that and that. But he goes, unless you're up high where the wind's blowing and that, I wouldn't do it. Take the time, find a bed and breakfast and that. It's better because they're bad. So I'm getting there a little bit before the season where they all get real bad, but it's kind of like if you're up in Alaska and the black flies are already, it's terrible, or the mosquitoes and that, or in Wisconsin, I know when it's mosquito season, that, in the midsummer or early fall, it can just get to be uncomfortably and not fun. So it was nice to know that. So it's kind of talking with bikes and that. It is also kind of neat and interesting to see the different kind of bikes over here, or not just different kind of bikes, just different names for them. So there's a couple different bikes that we have, like the CFR and the BFR, and they have different names for them. It's the same damn bike, but for some reason the companies name them different. And then it's weird on how you can't get some bikes. Like in the United States, we can get the Yamaha Super Tenere, but we can't get the Tenere. So, and it's like, I don't know why you can't get the Tenere they have over here, because it's kind of, it's a great adventure bike to have. The Super Tenere is not a bad bike. I would say I rode it, I liked it, I almost bought one, but I took one of the guys had the Tenere, and I just got a real quick spin with it, and it's nice. It's got where you can shut off ABS. It doesn't have traction control. It's a nice bike. It's a good adventure bike, or dual sport bike. And it was a 700, so it was a nice bike. I really liked it, but we can't get in the States. Or you got the Super Tenere, which you can't shut off traction control. So, and I don't think you can turn ABS off either. So when it comes, ABS is great, but if you're in dirt, probably not the best selection. So it was a nice, fun bike to ride. I've seen a lot of BMWs. And also the Triumph Tigers are big over here too, a lot of them. So like in the States, well, we used to get STs, but they don't make STs anymore, but they don't have them. They never had them here. The guys, they asked what, we ride back home, and I said, I've sabered, and like my friend Brett rides on the ST in the 1100, like what? So I brought a picture of the bike, and they're like, and I said, is it sport touring? And they don't have that option over here. But it was a Yamaha. Yeah, it was a Kawasaki. Well, there was I think it was a Kawasaki 12 something that I saw that one of the guys from Netherlands was riding. It looked like a really nice bike, and we have something like it, like the Concourse, but it was more laid out to be a little more sport touring than the Concourse. Concourse still's a little bit blocky in my book in that. This thing reminded me a lot more of like the 1100 ST. But it was a 1200, they called it the 1200 M, I think is what they called it. That, I mean, it looked like a really nice sport touring bike, and if I, it's like if I wanted a street bike when I get back home, that'd be kind of something I'd like to look at. I consider, because I'd like maybe, because I would like, this bike is awesome, it's doing well, but it's not a highway bike, and when I get home, I'm still going to ride this until it won't go anymore. But let's go out cruising and going somewhere to ride with Brett. I'm thinking I need a new bike. My Sabre, I love that bike to death, but it's getting to the point where it needs to be retired. And that. So, and I'm liking the upright seating position in that, and they have a little more power and handling. It'd be nice, but again, I don't want a real heavy bike. I'm getting really happy running a light bike. Hey, found the Druids. At Wemblins. I swear that the Welsh people, all they do is they come up with a word and they say, hey, what other letters can we throw in the name just to make it totally confusing? So, I never saw ambulance spelled with a W. I think I'm getting lucky getting around the clouds and rain.